And then at that point, so what happens? At some point, you leave the show, and how does that happen?
So how I left the show, Steve and Rashawn started to do a talent showcase at the El Rey Theater. And they said, okay, this is when the neighborhood awards or the hoodie awards started to come in.
Right.
And Steve was like, yo, we're gonna do a talent show, and whoever wins the talent show is gonna open up at the hoodie awards. So it was a group called, oh man, I can't even remember the name, the Bushwhackers or something like that.
Right.
I can't even remember the name of it. I know it's something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They won. Steve got him in the studio, recorded a song for him and all this other stuff. After they recorded the song, Steve was like, yo, we're going to play it on the air. Steve didn't get clearance from anybody to play this on the air.
Right.
And so Steve brought it, the manager brought it in. Steve was like, yo, we're going to play it. And I played it. I didn't ask no questions, no nothing. Steve said, play it. I played it.
Mm-hmm.
So then after I got off air, Scorpio pulls me into the office and was like, yo, who gave you the okay to play that song? I was like, Steve, Rashawn. He was like, yo, they don't have the okay to be playing songs. You should know better than that. And Scorpio got in my behind. He was like, we can't have this conversation again of you playing a song that's not scheduled to play or got cleared by me. And so I told Steve, I told Rashawn, and I think that was I shouldn't have done that. You know,
you shouldn't have played the song. You shouldn't have talked to Steve.
I shouldn't have never talked to Steve.
Okay.
Like playing the song, it was the mistake. Yeah, I didn't know. I made the mistake. And Scorpio didn't really, he got on me, but it wasn't where he was like, I got it suspended or I didn't get written up or anything like that.
Right.
It was just a good lashing, you know.
Right.
And so I messed up because I shouldn't have never went back to Steve or Rashawn and told them what Scorpio said. I should have just left it at is. But I was like, I'm gonna say something to him because I don't want you guys to do it again. And then you realize I can't play the song. Right. And then you guys looking at me crazy why I can't play it.
Right.
So if you know Steve, during that time, Steve was like, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do. You can't tell me what to do. I'm gonna do it. And so he made it a point during the show again to say, hey, we're playing the song again. And I was like, Steve, I can't play the song. And this is live on air, B Woods, live on air.
Right.
He's like, play the song. I said, Steve, I can't play the song. Why you can't play?
Wait, so are you guys having this conversation on the air?
On the air. This is live on the air.
So you guys are having a corporate conversation on the air. Okay, so you guys are going back and forth, and then what happens?
Then Rashawn runs in the studio. And Rashawn's like, just play the song. Steve is telling you play the song. Play the song. And I'm like, Rashawn, I cannot play this song or I'm going to get in trouble.
This is like a bad episode of Black Mirror. Like, this is like...
like, literally, this is live on the air.
Mm-hmm. And
so Steve goes, I'll play the songs that you too scared to play. So I'll play the song. And ain't nobody going to tell me that I can't play the song, this, that, and the other. Steve got up from his seat, came across the board, and hit the button and played the song.
That's good.
Next you know, show's over with. I get called into the office again. Scorpio now has Mary Catherine on the phone. I'm in Scorpio's office. Mary Catherine's on the phone.
Who's Mary Catherine?
Mary Catherine was with Radio 1, and she was she was head of programming for all of Radio 1 stations.
Okay.
Like, I think it went Mary Catherine to Steve Hagwood. That's like kind of was like the pecking order. And so Scorpio was like, I told you not to play the song. Who told you to play the song? And then I was like, I didn't play the song. Steve got up and came. He's like, your responsibility is to run the board. I was like, I am running the board, but I can't. What was I supposed to do? Push the dude out the way? Like, Then Mary Catherine comes in, was like, okay, I've heard enough. This is unacceptable. This, that, and the other. Then I got suspended.
Mm.
I got suspended. And then I got suspended. And then I went to Steve and him and told him, like, yo, you guys just got me suspended, dude. Like, this is what just happened because I told you I couldn't play it. This is that and the other. Like, I just got suspended from you guys. Steve and Rashawn goes down to what's her name? I forgot her name. She was in sales and she became the GM. Sue Freund.
Okay.
Remember, she became general manager.
Right.
So Scorpio, Sue Freund, and Mary Catherine is all on the phone in her office with Steve and Rashawn. Whatever happened. I go in now, and me and Steve and Rashawn cross each other. We literally cross each other going, because they coming out, I'm going in. And I was like, yo, what happened? Am I okay? This is that and the other. What's going to happen? And they're like, oh, you good. Don't worry about it. You solid. We squared it away. So I was like, okay, cool. Bet. I go in, I sit down, and they go, we told you not to play the song. You played the song. This goes against all of, the rules that we have here in programming as a station, this, that, and the other. You had the conversation with your program director, da, 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 da. And it's like, do you have anything to say? And I was like, no, I mean, Steve played the song. I didn't. It was like, well, their job is to make sure that you run the board and none of this is supposed to happen like this. I was like, then they was like, you're fired.
What?
I went from being suspended to being fired. all in just a few hours.
And what's going through your mind right now?
I'm thinking Steve just said everything is cool. So how did it go from everything is cool to me being fired? Like, I was so confused and I was hurt. And then when she said I was fired, now I'm trying to plead my case. I'm like, how is this happening? This is this, that, and the other, da, 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 da. And they're like, well, we gave you the opportunity to plead your case and you didn't have anything to say. And this is the conclusion that we came up with. And it was just like, you got to be kidding me. And so when I leave out the meeting of getting fired, I call Steve. No answer.
Oh shit.
I call Rashawn. No answer. Like, they low-key ghosted me.
What?
Ghosted me. Yeah. Straight ghosted me. Finally, I talked to Rashawn. And Rashawn was like, yo, I'm gonna work on it, getting you back, and this, that, and the other, da, 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 da.
How long was it before you got a chance to talk to Rashawn?
It might have been about a week.
Oh, god damn.
Yeah, it was about a week. So, yeah.
And did they have to pay you out for the contract?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And so
I
now,
was cool, but again, now I'm out of a job.
Right. And so now what's going through your mind? Do you feel like Steve did you dirty, or what's your thought process? The station did you dirty? Because you're obviously in a weird space because you have corporate. They don't want to pay you. You know what I'm saying? Optics wise, these are white folks. You know what I'm saying? Optics wise, right? Now you have Steve supposedly having your back. He says he have your back, ain't answering your phone calls. In all honesty, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You have this commitment to not just this, but this is your passion. This is your dream. From an emotional state, like what's going through your mind?
I mean, in my mind, I was spiraling because I couldn't wrap my head around, like, why would this happen? Why would he do this to me? Why won't he answer the phone? Why can't he give me an explanation of what happened? And finally, like I said, I finally talked to Rashawn, and Rashawn was just like, oh, don't worry about it. We're going to get you back on. They never talked to Rashawn again. And I called Steve. I called Rashawn. Finally, Terrence, who was Steve's security, finally answered the phone and was like, Boss man has been real busy. He got you. He saw that you've been calling. He's going to call you later. Never heard from him. Never heard from him. So then from there, I was just like, okay, I guess this is part of the business. Because then now you're talking to other people that's in the business and stuff like that. And now you're trying to get back in. So you're talking to folks, and it just comes down like, finally, okay, this is part of the business. This is how, as people would say, this is how some people get shitted on, and this is what happened. And from there, I got a phone call from Chris Lose. And Chris Lose said, hey, I got an opening that we about to start up a new station here in Los Angeles, and I want you to be part of it. And from there, rebirth of a new career.
And the station was K-Day.
It was K-Day.
And that's crazy, because so have you talked to Steve to this day?
So I've ran into Steve. So when I got over to K-Day, we were running strictly board. There was no talking, just straight board. Then finally they opened it up and started cracking the mic. I did every shift at K-Day during that 93.5. When it first started, I did every shift, from morning show, midday, afternoon, overnight, you name it, I started doing it. Then I started doing morning show. So it was me and a couple other people strictly just doing morning show. And then they brought Steve Harvey morning show over.
Oh, smack.
And so when they brought Steve Harvey,
that's right.
So when they brought Steve Harvey morning show over to K-Day, he was doing the Hoodie Awards. That was the first time I saw him. It's because now K-Day is part of the Hoodie Awards. And so we went down to Vegas for the Hoodie Awards. And this was the first time I saw him in like years. And when I saw him, he was like, oh well, let me back up. So his response when he saw me is because now this is when he was leaving the beat. He was leaving the beat to start his own syndication. On his last day, he was all Pee Wee, my man. I miss him so much. I wish he could still be part. He was giving his big sob story on air. And it was like, my dude, you ain't talked to me in years. And now all of a sudden it's like, woe is me. I'm your boy. This, that, and the other. Like, really? So fast forward, now we meet up in Vegas. And now I got a chip on my shoulder. Because I'm like, you did me foul. You did this whole spiel of, I'm your man, and you was looking out and this, that, and the other. And the station did me wrong. Yeah, the station did me wrong, but you did too. So I had a chip on my shoulder. So when I finally saw him, he was at the crap table, and his security was Terrence and Boom. Those were two dudes that were always with him, Terrence and Big Boom. And I saw them, hey, Boom, what's up, Terrence? We're sitting there talking. He on a crap table. And then he stopped on the crap table. Boom taps him. He's like, yo, Pee Wee's here. He turned around and he was like, oh, Pee Wee, my man. Now, mind you, he's a celebrity. So everybody at the crap table, everybody around him, and, oh, Pee Wee, my man, this is that and the other. And he went in to give me a hug. And I was like, nah, bro. I was like, I said, me and you got to have a conversation, Steve. I said, how this all went down was foul. So we got to have a conversation. And he was like, oh, we're going to talk, this, that, and the other. And of course, we never talked. He went on about his business, never talked. Now, mind you, I've seen Steve 3 more times after that. Won't say a word to me.
Yeah, that's insane. That's and so so there is no more relationship with you and Steve Harvey, not at all.
No. The one thing I mean, and I'm a good person, and I'll be honest with you, Steve has a good heart. Steve is a good person. You know what I'm saying? Because when I hung around Steve, I saw that in him. You know what I mean? But the way he did me and the way that he acted after the fact is what was foul.
Right.
So after that, I was kind of like, I'm cool.
4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E.